This morning, we're going to paint with watercolor here in the studio, and we're also joined with Doodle Art Indonesia community founder and watercolor painting teacher Azalia Paramatatya, or Anya, who's ready to teach us about watercolor painting. Good morning, Banya. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, so glad to have you here as well. Before we actually get hands-on, tell us a little bit about your community, Doodle Art Indonesia.
Oh, Doodle Art Indonesia, we have over 60 chapters in all Indonesia.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
and we've been together for almost 8 years right now. And during the pandemic, we have online activities as well. But before the pandemic, we have to make gatherings, painting together, and then also competitions, something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you just get together and you just do your paintings.
And have fun making art.
Sounds like so much fun. All right, so let's, go ahead, Rasha.
No, so I think let's just dive right in. Let's get started. Okay, so here in front of us is actually a paper already drawn by pencil. We have some drawings here. When we want to do watercolor painting, what is the first thing that we need to prepare and how do we start?
And what is, and if I can add on to that, what is unique about watercolor painting than any other forms of art?
Yes. Okay, so if you feel the paper, it's a little bit thicker, and then it has texture on it.
Right.
Yes. This paper is actually made for watercolor, so no matter how many layers you add with the water, the paper is going to be okay. If we do it in just like a regular paper, it's going to like bleed and also it's going to break, right?
Right, because it's too thin, right?
Yes, and then watercolor, I think the uniqueness of watercolor is we can get a lot of variation of color, but only by adding water. So the more water we add, the color is going to be more translucent.
So different shades almost.
Yes,
right,
yes, but only by one color.
Right.
Yes, we can get more variations.
Is it more difficult than, say, I guess on canvas you would use oil, right?
Yes,
instead of water.
oil or acrylic.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the more difficult one?
I think for this one, it takes more patience because we have to let it dry and then layer it again. But for now, for today, we're going to make it fun.
Okay. Thank goodness. Layering sounds difficult.
I have one more question. Sure. In terms of the aesthetic, does it has a unique difference compared to other painting? Is it more? Because I saw a lot of this on Instagram.
Yes.
They're mostly like feminine, drawn by female. So is there any difference in terms of aesthetic for watercolor?
Oh yes, I think the architectural and then also food illustration is very, very famous right now.
Right.
And I think the most distinguished part from watercolor and other paint is just how you can water down the color, and then it looks very beautiful. And I think it's what makes it stand out from other paint, which also beautiful as well.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the tools that we need before we get started.
Okay, so first of all, we have the paper, and then we have the paint, and this is watercolor paint. They have different variations, but we are using the pen right now, the pen watercolor, and then the water, of course, and the paint, the brush. So there are different types of the brush. The bigger the paper or the bigger the section that you want to color, we can use bigger brush.
Okay, so in general, I noticed that what you've prepared for us is already, thank goodness by the way, is already some outlines. I'll show you my outline first. Mine are making me hungry. It's
donuts.
Set of donuts, by the way. There's, I don't know if you can see that, but there's 3 donuts stacked on top of each other, but it's in a very light outline. Is this generally something that you need to do before every watercolor painting then?
Yes, there are different styles for watercolor. You can just start right away with the paint, or you can sketch it out before, just like we do right now.
Okay, it must be more difficult though, no? Without an outline?
I think without the outline, you just like put your creativity on it, like directly.
Okay. What have you got, Rasha?
Mine is very difficult, guys, by the way. You cheated right
I got
there.
to choose first. I got here first.
So mine is actually a picture of our national monument, Monas.
Fancy.
Yeah, but this is gonna be looking good, you know.
Right, yeah, I think so. And you're gonna do it with us as well, yeah, Mbanya?
Yes, I'm going to do the sea today.
Ooh. Very nice, very difficult. It's got a little bit of shading there as well.
Yes.
All right, okay. So let's just get started here. Let's just jump right into it. Let's have, what do we do first? What are some of our first steps?
First, we can open up the paint. First, here, we can share this one. And as we can see, we only have like 12 colors in it. Yep. And we can mix the color if we need, along the way, we need more shades of color. Okay, so first we can grab the brushes here.
So which one would you recommend? Because there's a lot of sizes, different sizes.
I think for what we are doing right now, we are going to do the medium one.
All right.
Yes, and before we start, we're going to wet the brush first.
Okay, you always have to wet the brush, all right.
So I think I'm going to just do this.
By the way, here's we do have some tissues over there, so you might need this for later on.
Yes.
Grab one myself.
If you have too much water on your brush, you can just blot it on the tissue.
Okay, so we just dab it.
Yes. Okay. Just dab it on the tissue. Okay. So first, for yours, Monas, if we look at from far away, it's going to be white, right? Okay. So if we paint white objects in white paper already, we cannot make it any whiter, right? Because yes, because the paper is already white. So what we are painting is the shading of it, the shadow. Okay. So in that part, we are going to make the shadow gray. So since we don't have gray, we can mix black and white together. Okay. So we wet the brush, and then we take this, and it's instantly going to activate it. Yes.
Right.
And then we can put it here.
Oh, that's what that's for.
Yeah, we can use that for that. And then wash the brush again, because we still have the black.
Yep.
And then we're going to
This is a
mix
bit
it.
like doing makeup with.
Yes.
Of course.
Doing makeup for the paper.
There you go. So you have a gray right away. Nice.
Yeah,
You can use that in one side of the monument.
Which side do you think is it the right one?
I think the left one.
The left one.
If the light is coming from the right.
Right.
Yes. Okay. And then for yours.
Much easier.
Okay. So we can for painting.
Yes.
Let's start with the actual dough.
This bottom part.
Yes.
Okay, the donut itself.
And that's going to be brown.
Light brown, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we only have like light, dark brown, right? And then we're going to mix it with yellow.
Ah, okay.
Same step.
So
we wet the brown first.
Yeah. Oh, so you need to actually add the water onto that.
Yes.
Like you have quite a. All right. So I don't need to dry it or anything. So there, yeah.
Yes. Okay. We can make.
Nice.
Yes. And then we can wash the brush first, since we already have the brown. Right. And then just a tiny bit of yellow, and it's instantly going to make it lighter.
Okay. Ah, yeah. So you really have to have a grasp on how. So I can go and start this right away, yeah.
Yes, and then you can start from the bottom part of the.
Any of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Like this one right here.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yes, and then you can just pull it with water.
Okay,
so you need to kind of have a grasp of what colors go with what to create what, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Well, basically there are like 3 primary colors, which is red, yellow, and blue. And then if you want to make, we already have green, but if you want to make different shades of green, you can mix blue and yellow.
Right.
Okay, but if you want to make the green more yellowy, just add more yellow.
Right.
Like the grass. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to make the green a little bit darker, add more blue on it. Okay, so it's just like going towards the
different combinations.
Yes, like
colors. Amazing. Now, I have already painted the side of my national monument. Would you say that this part we do it with white?
Yes. Oh no, the other side it's already white from the paper.
Oh, so we just leave it
So it's a white structure,
like
right?
that.
It's a white structure already. We are getting help by the paper.
Cool.
And then since we have the shading on the left part, it means like all the left part has the same color.
Okay.
As that brown, has that gray color.
Including this one and this one.
Yes,
Oh,
but
got
let's
it.
just add a tiny bit of more water.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more diluted.
Right.
And
Okay.
just a little bit. If it's too much water, you can dab it on the tissue.
So I ran out of my. So I'm just making more.
Yes.
I ran out a little bit.
Yes.
So it's important to clean the brush every time, I notice, because otherwise, if you take shortcuts, you're going to end up getting like brown paint onto your yellow part there. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm also going to start
Go ahead. Yes, please.
this. let's just share, okay? So this is my dark blue.
So usually, like, if you don't have that finger to draw the sketches, is there any pre-made sketches that we can just dive right into paint?
I think so. I think they have a lot of free downloaded.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
from
like
internet.
Yes, of course. And then you can just start from there because a lot of people love the painting section of this, like coloring.
Yeah, that's
but not really into sketching.
That's
right.
That was why I was asking.
Yes.
Oh, like you mean templates that...
Yes, exactly. Like this one, we already have the template, right?
Yes.
Probably not most people like or enjoy the process of sketching or drawing.
Because it also requires some practice and talents more than the painting
more than
itself,
painting
right?
itself. There comes like the proportion.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
And some hands are actually better than the rest. Because for example, my father who interested in architecture, he can actually like draw perfect circle, like perfect symmetry, while I do not have any talent for that. It's going to be very hard for me to sketch.
All right, so I've got my donuts part, so should I start working on the, what do you call it, the icing, the top part of it?
Yes, of
In
course.
different color?
Yes.
So I can just choose?
Yes, you can choose the color that you want.
So if I want to make pink, would it be red and white?
Yes, that's right. That's true.
Better at this.
And if you want to make it lighter pink, then you will add more white.
White, correct.
So I have a question. For the fire, do I also need to paint grayish or?
Oh no, the fire
different.
would be the exact goldy color.
Goldy colors.
And since we don't have that,
right, we
yes,
mix the yellow and orange.
Okay, yellow and orange, and also you can do it as well, yellow and brown.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I want to ask you. You're not only like the founder of a community. Obviously, you're also an illustrator, but you're also a painting teacher as well. So, which is why you're very good at teaching us.
Oh, thank you.
who are very new at this.
True, that's true.
Just curious, where did your passion for art come from? Were you always passionate about it when you were a kid? Like I have a kid who just fell in love with painting on her own.
Yeah, I have a big passion of art starting when I was a kid. But back at that time, I couldn't do any like proper drawing.
Oh, you couldn't draw.
I was just doodling. So I was just doodling. That's why, probably that's why I started the community, the art community, for the people who would love to make art but couldn't really draw. So
I see.
That's why. But then I get into watercolor, and for me it's fun. And and I have several students right now, which also kids.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they are online classes. And
do you find that this teaching watercolor is actually a lot easier because it is more fun? Like I am enjoying this a lot more than having to draw, let's say, with a with a pencil. Yeah, this is way more fun.
Yeah, but what's surprising me is the kids is actually also very good at sketching. So I think they have. Probably because they are exposed to the internet more than I did before.
Really?
Yes, and then they have, let's just say they watch a lot of tutorials or something. So when I say, or when I, like show something, they can already recognize, oh, this is what I have to do, like.
So you're saying kids these days are a lot quicker to adapt?
Yes, yes, and they are very, very brave with expressions and colors.
No way, I didn't.
I think it's very interesting how to see the my students really loving. Oh, first of all, they before they get into watercolor, they thought it's going to be like easy. But then when they started like deep dive into it, they were like, okay, there are more steps.
Right.
Okay, but so far they're loving it.
Because it also requires you to sort of always step up your paintings, right?
Yes, yes.
Firstly, you just paint the basic like we are, like I do, but you can see in the picture at the background, it's a really beautiful picture.
Yes.
It's even saleable, if I have to say so.
Yes. Yeah, because like the more you paint, the more you know probably first your style.
Okay,
Yes, and then like, oh, this is what I love the most, and this is what I'm good at.
Right.
But then I think that's why being in a community is very important because not only you can chat with people,
Others.
with people that share the same
passion
with you,
interest.
yes. But you can also see, oh, probably I can learn that.
Right.
Yes, like
right.
if she can do it, I can
Right.
do it too, or I can ask.
Yes.
And
Right.
I think, that's the food illustration that I was talking about. It's very, very famous these days.
So you mentioned that you started off with doodling.
Yes.
Maybe for those of us who are not familiar with the word doodle, can you share a bit more about the difference between drawing, doodling, and paintings?
Okay, doodling is actually something that we are mindlessly doing.
Okay.
Probably for me back at school, listening to my teachers, and then I was just like trying to draw something.
You don't have an idea in mind what you want to draw. You just kind of draw aimlessly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And for drawing, I think you have the idea first. Okay, this is what I want to draw. And then for painting, it's just the coloring part of it, right? And but for right now, actually, doodle art is actually getting very famous because people, not only kids, but also the seniors,
Right.
they are also enjoying it because
When you say the seniors, is it like the older people?
yes, yes. And they are enjoying it because they are very relaxing for them.
Okay.
Yes, and it's freeing. There's nothing wrong or right about it, right? Because
Right.
it's your painting. I mean, it's your artwork.
Right.
So I think that's one of the reason why.
So if it's you aimlessly, creating the doodle, what sort of shape or picture you actually, put down on your paper? Is it just like, because I saw some doodles myself, it still have some shape like,
Yes.
but it's just random shapes. So can you share with us a bit more?
Yes, I think they also have like a concepts before,
Okay.
but there's just like a vague idea, like okay, let's just make probably food related, yes, and then they just
like the
make-
top, you pick the topic
Yes,
and then you can just draw whatever you want.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
But it will be different if you are like competing or like you're joining a competition.
Oh, there's a competition. for
Yes,
doodling.
yes, and then you have the topic of the competition, and then you have rules and everything. You have to
Okay.
follow that. So I
You,
think
you certainly caught Russia's interest because she's very competitive.
yeah.
But it's interesting because by the nature itself, doodling is drawing aimlessly, but then
Yes.
you have a competition for that, which
Yes.
means that you actually measure the creativity of the person.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's probably how the rules going to help with the judging, because like
Right.
they have like probably color that is required for the painting, and then I think that's how they judge.
Right. So tell me more about your community. Is it like you are creating an offline event?
Yes.
Or what about the people at home that wanted to start? Your community definitely going to be one of the simplest resources. Is it possible for us at home to get help by your community to start? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, before the pandemic, we have monthly meetups with our members, and mostly it is in public spaces because we want people, as many people as we could, to get interactions with.
Right.
Because I think people are actually interested, but they're not brave enough to try it.
Yeah.
They would say like, "Oh, I like
They're
I like it."
intimidated.
Yes, and then I don't know why, because like once they started, they just can't stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Actually, I wanted to ask you, what else should I color?
I think the ground.
Oh,
The ground,
this
yes.
one.
And because that part is a little bit bigger, you can use the different brush.
Okay,
I think this one would work.
all right. So which color should I use?
For that top part, you can use the dark green, which is this one, and then you can pull it down with this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Got it.
you can mix it here, like you can mix it right here, or you can mix it right away on the paper.
All right.
I'm mixing it right away on the paper, like this one. This is dark blue, and then this.
That's for the experts.
Yeah, you're shading. You're already into all this shading.
So what about now, post-pandemic?
Oh yeah. We have meetup online as well, via Zoom as well, and also like online competitions, because we still want people to feel creative and still creating even though we are staying at home.
Right.
And
Do you have resources that people can just like download it, for example, or sort of this directory? What are the tools that they need to get to start? Because yeah, before this, I wouldn't know that this could actually be very, not only relaxing, but it's actually quite simple.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. In our Instagram, we have tutorials. We uploaded a lot of tutorials, and that is from our members. So they share what they love with, you know, like different types of doodle. Some of them share the floral one, which is like the flowery, and that could be for people who love flower art.
Okay.
And then there are also characters.
Okay.
So we try to give a lot of variations of tutorials, and then you can also see we have YouTube videos as well.
Oh, that's
for
You say you get to see like what everyone's doing, and you have so many like chapters across Indonesia. What are some of the more, a couple of the most standout things that you've ever seen somebody do with watercolor paint? Like, wow, that's amazing or crazy.
I think just the realistic one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that must be tough. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's a paint. It's not a painting. It's a photo. It
Right,
looks like
right.
that. It looks like it's that realistic, and that is very interesting because like people could get very crazy about getting creative, and that's like very interesting to see.
I'm thinking what color icing is other than pink and white. I made one pink, one white, and I'm trying to think of a third one.
We can do the
I don't need
chocolate
donuts
thing,
all the
but
All right, okay.
But we
Chocolate, dark
already-
chocolate. You're right. That's actually.
And how to make dark chocolate? We also have darker chocolate here.
Yes.
But we can add a little bit more blue to it.
Blue, not black, huh?
No, not black.
Oh, okay. Let me try that.
Okay, so I'm done with the ground. Is it done, or do I need to add more color?
We can add more layers to it.
Okay.
Okay, for the details.
Okay.
So I think we can add the details in the trees.
Okay, sort of like this shape?
Yes, yes. And we can just stipple it.
Okay.
For the leaves part.
Yeah.
So I guess when you learn, there's a lot of trial and error because me, I would have, you know, if you weren't here, Mbanya, I would have just like added this and that, and I would be like, that doesn't look right. So I think it involves some trial and error to learn about colors.
And also color harmony and color theory.
Right.
I think when you get to know color more, and then you can like mix and match. Oh, this color goes better with this one.
Right.
And then if I mix this one, it will make a muddy color, which I don't want that. You know.
Right.
Yeah, it needs process to get familiar with it. But I think once you know how to do it, you can just like explore more and more.
So you start to memorize the certain rules, like which one goes with what and what it creates, right?
Okay, I think you add just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, I was going to do that. I added way too much blue.
And we can start fresh here.
So, can you actually share with us what's the theory between combining painting and whining? Because there was a trend, right? You know, like for an activity with friends, you know, you're painting and whining. Is there any sort of correlation that actually helps to make it even more relaxing or creative?
Yeah, I think it's the feeling and the atmosphere that you're doing it with your friends, and then. Probably for some people, whining is like another relaxing activities, and then when you both like combining each other, they're just complementing each other, right? Yeah, and then,
so it's like a super
relaxing.
I think I would paint better if I was having a glass of wine with some other. Look at that! It does create a dark chocolate.
See?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed blue and brown.
Blue and brown. Because for some people, like they will directly add black, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have done. And it would have just, what does that do? It makes it too dark, is it?
Yes, it makes it too dark, and then I think it makes it not too realistic.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
Because in real life, there's no like real black, because like black has a lot of other colors as well.
Right.
So I'm curious, I'm always curious about discovering people's passion and occupation. Are you a full-time teacher?
Yes.
Did you actually went on through a sort of certification or academics for teaching?
For my teaching profession, it was started when, I think in 2018, I discovered that I love kids and I love working with kids, and also I love painting. And there was job available, but it was offline still because there was no pandemic at the moment. But then when the pandemic started, I still want to teach and I still want to like share with kids. And I started with online class. And before that, I have like joined a lot of teaching classes, how to deliver the materials, even for kids, right? Kids have they say kids have like short span of concentration. But for me, like, when they're painting, they don't want to stop. So it's like very enjoyable for them as well.
Okay, so you have the basic of your painting hobbies, and then just adding up on courses on how to actually teach it to children, because it's different when you're just painting for yourself and when you teach, right? Okay, cool. So I wanted to ask, is my picture done? I keep on asking because, like, apparently my stuff doesn't have much more than you.
Well, yeah, I'm just about done too. So.
But I'm done.
Not fair from Banya. We've been making her do all the talking while we've been teaching, so that's okay, because we're the students here.
Paul.
Final touches here. And
wow, Paul, I'm impressed. I can see your picture from here. And
there we go. All right, so.
Oh, I still have something more to do, but it's okay.
That's okay. Let's. I want to see Rasha's first.
So apparently I thought I got the harder one and the more complicated one. It turns out to be, oops, sorry. A simple picture.
Oh, it's very nice.
See?
Right. It actually looks a lot more like Wanasui. I like the gold. You captured the gold properly. So what was that? Yellow and
brown.
Yellow and brown.
I thought it was going to be like yellow and orange.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
Right.
But then Banya told me that you should mix yellow and brown.
All right. So mine, excuse me. Mine I didn't let dry, so mine's dripping a little bit, so you can see. But here's mine. I don't know if we can get a zoom in on that.
Looks very good.
Making me very hungry.
Paul's paintings actually looks like those pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, the food.
Yeah, my red sprinkle here is dripping a little bit, but there you go. Yes, it does look very realistic. I'm getting hungry just looking at it, right? I'm going to give this to my daughter. She does love it. Now, even though you've only managed to do part of yours, I would like you to show yours, because you did something that neither of us did, which was you did the left part of the logo and you got the shading, because if you look at the See Today, See Morning Show logo or the See Today logo, there's like a darker part on the left and then more shading on the right. Would you mind showing yours to the camera? So
okay, so, well, clearly I still have steps to do.
Sure.
But this part right here, I mix the color directly on the paper, like I told you. And this part is dark blue. And while it's still wet, I pull it with water and also light blue. So they are going to create the...
So while it was still wet, you just kind of dragged it?
Yes.
That's amazing. All right, good
That's the
stuff.
amazing part.
Okay, that's next level stuff.
Exactly.
Obviously, we're not ready for that. Guys, if you guys want to know more, you have Instagram and Facebook as well, Doodle Art Indonesia. So if you do want to join the community, please do so. It's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing, and it's great to do on the weekends. And if you have kids that need stuff to do and they love art, I think it's a great place to join the community, especially now that we're coming out of the pandemic.
Yes.
You are getting together again with your group?
Yes.
There you go.
All right. So thank you so much, Banya, for
Thank
coming
you so much for having
teaching
me.
us, introducing us this watercolor painting.